Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over these, another awesome Craigslist find. It's amazing what you find on Craigslist. These are the Hi-Fi Man HE300s. This is kind of their base model, probably their most popular selling because it's also their cheapest model. These retail for close to 300 bucks. I think $299 is, I guess we'll just round it. We'll just say 300 bucks they retail for. You can find them for a little bit less. They are hard to find just because this company really doesn't mass produce. They're definitely in the hi-fi field, and at that $300 price point, we would expect nothing less. I'm not going to tell you what I stole these off of Craigslist for because they were way too good to be true. Packaging's not overly impressive, but can't expect too much. So it just has the American address at their New York office. These are Chinese headphones, and then down on the bottom you've got their same address as up here for their Chinese office. And there's a customer support email, shipping manager. You can basically contact everybody on there. MSN messaging. You know they're a little behind on the times when they have, and if you need to message them, you can message them on MSN at that address. Kind of see on the side there. These are magnetic planar headphones, and we'll get into that later. But a lot of the higher end headphones are under the magnetic planar name, and that's just the type of sort of driving mechanism that they use to move air around. They all use magnets anyway, but magnetic planar is just a little bit different. But it's a very kind of expensive technology, so if you hear of any magnetic planar headphones around, Audeze, Fostech, Hi-Fi Man, for example, there's normally a pretty hefty price tag right around the corner. So, in the box you get the cable, the headphones, and a little user guide, I believe. It's just shot out of the bottom there. I'll put these off to the side. We'll talk about the cable because it's pretty impressive. But before that, we'll go over some of the manual here. So that's the owner's guide there. Product overview. These are full-size open-back headphone design with specially designed dynamic drivers, while HE300 can be used with sophisticated audio components, including dedicated audio headphone amplifiers. Its highly efficient 93 dB sensitivity means it can also be used with portable audio devices such as an iPod or iPhone. HE300's robust construction utilizes, let me see if I can read this over the mic, utilizes quality materials and audiophile grade detachable cables. Yes, its lightweight plush earbuds and adjustable metal band provide a comfortable listening experience you can enjoy for hours on end. Connection is made via the supplied cable with a screw-on connection using separate grounding leads for each channel to minimize crosstalk between the channels. An adapter is supplied so the HE300 can be used with a standard phone jack or a mini jack found on portable devices. So they give you the 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch. Driver size is 50 millimeters. Response frequency is 50 hertz to 50,000 hertz. That's a pretty wide range there. Impedance is 50 ohms, which is kind of, that's 50 ohms. I mean, that's up there. You wouldn't think that they would advertise that they're really, these really aren't mobile, portable audio headphones. Talked about the efficiency, 93 dB. Power rating is 30 megawatts. The weight is 270 grams or 9.5 ounces. Talks about adjusting the headphones there. That's why you got that little goofy picture. See what else we got in here. Setup and operation. Please allow for at least 150 hours, which is pretty standard, of constant use for break-in for your new headphones to achieve best sound quality. Volume during break-in period does not have to be loud, and you can enjoy the HE300s as you would normally. The rest of it is connecting. Soft, lightly damp cloth to clean. 1 year free repair according to our recommendation instructions. Please contact Hi-Fi Man to get the RA set up for residential use only. And then that's the end of that, and it's the Chinese version on the other side. So let's get into this. They come with a pretty darn nice cable. They claim it's Silver Strand. I haven't taken it apart to verify that, and I don't plan on doing that. I just trust them. Pretty darn nice cable. Kind of resembles something from Kimber Cable or ZY. So these are labeled. Got a little ever so slight of a bend into them, so they are labeled with right and left. And they have the very, very mini individual grounding leads. So you plug those into the left or right and screw them on, and that's about that. It does come with a 3-meter cable. Yes, it does tangle like a biatch, but you can buy additional cables. They definitely have a lot of third-party cables out there from places like Kimber Cable and ZY Cable that you can buy that are probably less anti-tangle. It's not the end of the world for this, but that's, you know, some people have issues with that. This is your 1/8-inch jack. I'm surprised it actually came with an 1/8-inch jack. I do prefer headphones that come built with the 1/4-inch jack, but they do give you the little adapter there, which is good. Doesn't really sit completely well. You can tell there is just a teeny tiny little gap in between there. I can just fit my fingernail in there. But maybe this is since this is a Craigslist find, this might be a aftermarket generic adapter. So 3 meters, a little bit longer than I would probably need. I think 2 meters is probably a more appropriate length for me, but I guess it's better to have too much cable than not enough. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the real stuff right here, and these are the cans. So construction is interesting. I mean, they're obviously a small brand. They're not, you know, like Audio-Technica or PSB or Grados or something like that. So their build quality is a little odd. I mean, you can kind of see in here, it's literally just screwed with, like, you know, a Phillips head screwdriver right into there. No cover, no nothing, no, you know, shame or hiding. You can really see all the parts that they use. Just super rugged construction. They do have a little bit of tilt on the head, but it is stiff in a good way. And same thing, you can turn the cups in and out like that to try to get yourself a ideal fit. The band obviously will adjust, and it uses this really, really interesting, like, very tight fitting you know, metal bushings to kind of keep pressure applied to it at all times while still maintaining its position to fit your head. And then down here are the very, very small adapters where you'll plug in your left and your right headphone from the cable provided down there. It is a pretty comfortable headphone. I had heard complaints that, you know, people don't like these, and, you know, they make a whole bunch of adjustments and mods to it, and the ear cups aren't too terribly comfortable, but they do fit over my ears pretty completely, and I don't mind the pads. You can swap these out. You can swap the cable out, obviously, and I've seen a lot of people do the headband mod. Headband is not very plush. You can kind of see how thin it is. It is a very, very small piece of foam that's in there wrapped in this very genuine leather, and then you can kind of see, you know, it's not really padded at all at the top. I'm sure if I stuck a magnet to it, it would definitely hold even some of the weakest magnets, and you can kind of feel the metal band here through the leather. But sturdy construction. I've used them for a handful of hours so far, and they're pretty darn good. Pads, they might be something that I upgrade later on. The cable, I think the cable's wonderful. I don't think, the only reason I might consider upgrading is just so I can get a shorter length. All the ones that you can get that I've found are the same construction, so they will tangle. They're not anti-tangle. They still have this really nice sort of braided look to them, where they're braided with, I think, 3 or 4 conductors for your left and right, and power and ground and all that good stuff. So that's about it. Not too much else. Mostly plastic construction around here, besides some of the metal pieces that are just really used for the frame. 50mm drivers are great. These are pretty darn big cans. They're not Audizies. They're not too massive, but they're definitely bigger than, you know, some other headphones that you can pick up on the market. I'm excited to listen to them. I definitely recommend them with a headphone amp. I think the reason why the guy was getting rid of them on Craigslist was because he wasn't properly using them. He wasn't properly, giving them the proper amperage that they need. He was just kind of like plugging them into a phone or something like that, or an iPod, and wasn't, running it through a DAC or a headphone amp or anything like that to really give it the full juice that it might need. So I'll break these in maybe in 150 hours or so. I'll come back to them. From what I have learned from listening to these, they're very crisp. Neutral. Highs are good, mids are good, lows are good. Great bass out of it. People will be wanting more bass. It's not very punchy, but it's enough. It's not lacking. It's not like a Grado or something like that. These are very well-rounded headphones, regardless of the genre that you listen to. They're good. It's not the best cans I've heard, obviously, but compared to anything else in this, $300-400 category in the open headphones type, soundstage is great. It plays well. The bass is great. It's a very full sound, but it's crisp. There's a lot of nuances in the backgrounds of whether it's a hi-hat or some sort of cymbal or a low percussion line or a low bass line, a cello or something like that. You'll definitely hear all of that, and in a really, really good way. So these are the Hi-Fi-Man HE300s. Let me know what you think. As usual, guys, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Questions or comments, leave in the section below. I'll be around to answer them to the best of my abilities. I think that's all I have right now for this review. Stay tuned for more. We've got some more videos coming up. I'm going to get back into some of my Sony equipment. We'll do a review on the UDA one and maybe some software. FLAC music, different formats, whether you should use iTunes or maybe a different player. We'll start getting into some of that in terms of the hi-fi realm, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for hanging out.